What's going on, guys? Spencer D, that's me here, and I'm with a competitor, a classic physique competitor, Justin here. Justin Groove, right?
Groves.
Justin has competed in 12 total shows. He's actually won some shows. I'm gonna let him speak a little bit more about himself, you guys. Wanted Justin to open up a little bit about himself, a little bit about bodybuilding, and a little bit about what it takes to be a competitive bodybuilder. So Justin, go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? My name's Justin Groves. I've done about 12 shows. I started off in men's physique, worked my way up to classic. Now I'm pretty much just doing master shows, trying to obviously chase that pro card still. It's always been a dream. But at the end of the day, I think that the initial thing, if you're thinking about getting into competing or whatnot, is just knowing what you're signing up for. Number one, you have to have the motivation, the self-determination, and pretty much just the mindset that you got to be tough as nails, because honestly, the dieting portion of it is not easy. When I first started competing in 2010, really my first show was in 2012. So 2011, I hired a pro bodybuilder as a coach, and he wrote my diet. And for the most part, you're only getting like one cheat meal out of 6 meals a day, 7 days a week. So at that point, we started, dieting, and mental toughness starts kicking in after you're eating that many clean meals. And honestly, my first cheat meal was like, I think I was at Papa John's. I had a pizza, I had all this ice cream, I had all this candy bars laid out. But on my way to doing that, I was like running red lights, foaming at the mouth. I was so hungry and just dying for a cheat meal. Like, I had never really dieted like that before.
Yeah, the cravings on prep definitely are real, for sure. Definitely.
It's just another level, man. So you have to be mentally prepared for that. I'm not any amazing bodybuilder. I'm just a guy who loves to get in the gym and look good.
What got you into the sport, actually?
Well, I mean, honestly, I played sports growing up, and at some point, when you start getting in your 30s and whatnot, you start thinking to yourself, I don't really want to try to compete in men's leagues and basketball and football and all this shit. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to start, competing to look good. And mainly the benefit was just to look as good as you possibly can. And then, the competitive nature in my mindset just played a part in that. And so really it was all about just looking as good as possible, looking freaky, and just seeing what your body was capable of. You'll never know what your body is capable of until you do a few things. Nutrition, supplementation, your multivitamins, fish oils, things like that. And then obviously, like I said, your diet, and then the weight training. And then you add the cardio into that. And then you can kind of see when you start peeling out of your body fat, start putting on muscle, you can kind of see what your genetics are and what your body is made of. But until you start to get those things and start firing on all cylinders, you won't understand what your body is capable of until you do those things. Your body is capable of a lot of great things. A lot of people have better genetics than others, but your goal is to just maximize your genetic potential for you. When they say you versus you, they mean maximizing your genetic potential. You can't worry about the guy next to you. You got to worry about you and getting to be your personal best.
And what are some of your favorite things, just as far as the 12 competitions and the time you've invested into bodybuilding, some of your favorite things that you could point out along the way?
It's just been such an amazing journey, just the whole part of it. I did, during COVID, it's kind of crazy because I got in the worst shape of my life during the start of COVID. By the summer of COVID, I did 3 shows. So the start of COVID, when everything hit the fan, I think it was like March or something, it was terrible. By the end of June, I was like flying to Colorado to do the Colorado Cup. And then after that, I flew to Vegas, and I did another show in Vegas. And then after that, I went down to San Diego and did the Pacific USA's in San Diego. So
just like that, bang, bang,
boom,
bang,
boom,
bang.
boom, boom. 1 month, 3 shows. And I've done that. That's just how I get down. I don't like to, I'll be honest, guys, I don't like to diet forever. I like to get in there and, lock myself in a room, eat my meals, do my training, do my cardio, and that's it. I don't like to, my life is very, very, very strict when it comes to that. My family suffers for it, I'll be honest. My son suffers for it because my dieting is extreme, and that's kind of what it takes for me personally.
That's what it takes to be competitive at this level.
Yeah,
at a higher level.
I mean, if you're gonna want to try to do this to like win, I mean, and you know, my first show, so I'll rewind back to 2012 when I did the Gold Coast Muscle Contest show, and it was in San Diego before they moved it to LA. I had dieted, that was my first show. I dieted my tail off. I was doing 2-hour-long sessions of cardio morning and night on the stairs. It was brutal. I looked so good the night before and the morning of, and then when I started adding in stuff and doing things, my body just like exploded and blew up, and I ended up getting like 7th place in my first show. No trophy, no nothing. I was so freaking devastated, man. I literally, like, I think I went into like, you know, just like a depression for like a month.
But you didn't let that stop you.
No, you know what? It just actually just gave you more motivation, because it's not easy to diet for that period of time. So when you do get on stage, you want to be at your best. So make sure that when you're training with somebody, you're getting with somebody that knows what they're doing and is going to hit your peak. You know, the important part about this too is bodybuilding is a science. So when you're talking about, you know, lifting weights and all this other stuff, that's great. But there's a scientific approach to this that you have to account for. You know, depleting of water, the sodium levels in your body, you know, the amount of carbs that you eat, the amount of cardio you're doing, the kind of cardio you're doing, to make sure you're keeping your muscle and only targeting the fat loss.
Hence, the more serious you take it, the better you can make your body on show day.
Yeah, I mean.
Speaking of the stage too, though, Justin, tell us a bit like about what's it like being on stage. Tell us a bit about walking up there, what you're feeling, what you go through to prepare to be on stage, and what it's like being like actually on stage there.
You know, it's for me, like, I've always been a personable person, and always, you know, public speaking was always really easy for me, and so it's never been like, I always look forward to that moment. I mean, obviously there's, you know, it's nerves, there's nerves involved there, but you want to make sure you're completely relaxed, because you don't want your cortisol levels to rise and start stressing out, because then your body will just start doing some crazy things. So just being relaxed, just have fun with it. It's such an amazing day and an amazing experience. You're looking, you know, just like one of the trophies, you know, you're looking like a freak, and just enjoy the moment. You got to get up there and do your thing, which is even more crazy because you don't have any food in your body. You haven't drinking no water. You're pretty much at your weakest state, and now you're expected to, you know, go through all these motions. But the one thing that I did make a mistake on in the beginning, in my first show, maybe first couple shows, is that you know, you're not up there smiling. I mean, you want to make sure you're up there smiling, you know, giving everything you have while you're up there. You have to smile. You have to look at the judges. You have to own that. You know, you can't be up there mean mugging and, you know, going through that because you're all in your feelings because of the way you know, your body is reacting to what's going on. You have to be up there and be show ready, you know, on stage, smiling. All that stuff matters. It's like huge.
Put all that work in, you know.
You put all that work in, and then you get up on stage and you're fucking mean mugging, and you're, you know, giving that terrible, you know, you're bird dogging. It's just, it's gonna not look good. You're gonna actually get probably points deducted, and you probably end up getting placed worse based off of just not smiling and not. I know a guy that looked amazing, and it was his first show, and he went up there and was just like frowning, you know, negative, bringing negative vibes to the stage, and it was not good for him.
You know, and at the end of the day, you guys, it's fun too. You get to meet new people. You get to put yourself out there. You get that adrenaline rush, the heart's pumping. You get to put all that hard work on display.
And so many, you know, while you're going at it with guys, you know, and you're wanting to compete against them, and you're pumping up, and, you know, it's kind of like, you know, I want to take your head off. At the end of the day, there's some of the coolest people that you've met, and they've all been in the trenches with you, you know, and they've all gone through the same thing that you're going through. And so, you know, it's just really cool. I've met some really, really cool people. I've had some amazing experiences, you know, competing and stuff, that, you know, you can't really, you know, you'll never forget, because it's, a lot of it is the journey, you know, it's not really so much the end result. I mean, obviously you want to win every overall that you, in every show that you do, but honestly, that's just not going to happen, unless you're just a genetic freak and you're just, you know, I know people that have done 2 shows and were pros, you know, like they did their first show, they went to a pro qualifier and got their pro card in 2 shows. But that's not normal, you know. There's only, you know, that's like the Zion Williams of bodybuilding. You know, it's not gonna happen like that. So
enjoy the journey. Do your best, you guys.
And that's a lot of the thing that people don't understand, is that it's a long journey. It's a long journey. It's not. This doesn't happen overnight. I've been doing this for 10 years and I'm still, you know, it's still like a roller coaster that you just want to keep on an even keel and just stay consistent, stay with your diet. But the main thing is the life change of just eating healthy, being healthy, working out. You know, you don't want to get yourself into, you know, the bad habits of, you know, the mental thing of trying to chase that look of being on stage. You have to realize that, hey, this is a process. You have to, you know, you have to go back to, you know, looking somewhat normal and functioning normally on a day-to-day basis.
And everybody goes through that, so you're not alone.
The rebound, the rebound phase is real. So,
all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Spencer D, that's me, and Justin Groves here. We're gonna do a little bit of flexing to close it out, so we'll see you guys in the next clip. I cramp so much here sometimes, but you just gotta force it up like money. That way you can see that. Yeah. Cramping on.
I've been posed in fucking 2 years.
All right, guys, thank you for watching. Again, this is Spencer D, that's me. And
Justin G, JG.
Where can they find you? Where can they find you on Instagram, Justin?
NPC JG. You can check me out there. Mostly chilling on the Instagram a little bit, but check me out.
We out.